Hi, welcome back to Movie Review Mom. And if this is the very first time you're here and you've just recently discovered my channel, yay, you're here. I'm so glad. I hope you like what you see and that you stay and that you subscribe. I really appreciate your support. And while you're at it, be sure and join our Movie Review Mom Facebook group where we have all kinds of fun conversations, as well as follow me on Instagram at Movie Review Mom. Okay, so the movie I'm reviewing today is called, it's available only on Netflix on May 27th, 2021. It's rated PG and it's an hour and 35 minutes. I'll give you my Movie Review Mom grade toward the end of my video, but I think you're going to be able to tell from my comments how much I really enjoyed this movie. All right, let's dive in. First, I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell where I'll point out things I liked and didn't like. I'll offer tips for parents because it's a family-friendly movie and themes worth talking about, and even give you some recommendations for other movies that are sort of similar that I think you'll also really enjoy. Okay, so let's dive in. First of all, wow, who knew a fishing movie could be so great? Netflix presents a very heartwarming true story that definitely gave me the feels. Yes, I got teary-eyed more than once. Written and directed by Julio Quintana with some writing help by Chris Dowling. This feel-good flick is family-friendly and extremely charming. So here's the scoop on the story. To save their cash-strapped orphanage, a guardian and some of the kids partner with a washed-up boat captain for a chance to win a lucrative fishing competition in Cabo San Lucas called Bisbee's Black and Blue Tournament. And they actually have that every year. It's a real thing. I mean, this is a true story. This is definitely not the touristy part of town that you thought you knew. You see a little bit of the marina and then you see the seedier side of town. There were a lot of things I really liked about this movie. First of all, the movie takes place on the Baja California Peninsula in 2014 when Hurricane Odile hit the coast. Here's a fun fact. The movie was previously named On the Line, which I think is a really good name for a fishing movie. In fact, I think I actually like it a lot better because On the Line has double meaning. There is some great music from Grammy Award-winning Reach Records artist Lecrae on the soundtrack, along with GAWVI, What UPRG, and 1K Pew. Few. I probably slaughtered those names. Now, you don't get a lot of backstory on all of the characters, but somehow you instantly connect with all of them. They feel like real people and not just actors saying lines. That's one of my big pet peeves. There is some gentle humor and real life conversations that feel authentic. There are some conversations about God, but the movie definitely doesn't feel preachy at all. At the end of the movie, you get to see photos of the real people that this story happened to, as well as see kind of aerial pictures of the orphanage called Casa Hogar. Casa means house, and hogar kind of means home. So it's more than just a house for orphans, but it's really a home. There are some great transitions, especially the opening scene. Now, normally I list a bunch of things that I don't like because I can always see room for improvement on movies. However, I only listed one thing, and it's such a minor thing, and that is that there aren't any subtitles to help you know some of the words that are being spoken in Spanish, because Spanish is spoken a lot in the movie, but it is in English too. So I thought I'd give you just a little quick lesson in some Spanish words that you're going to hear often in the movie. I speak Spanish fluently, and in fact, I was an exchange student in Mexico when I was in high school. So these are a lot of Mexican slangs, although they're also heard in a few other South American countries. So the first one is Guey. So it's spelled Guey, and it's kind of a slang word that originally meant an idiot in a real derogatory tone, but now it's sort of evolved and it really kind of means like dude, bro. Sometimes in the movie it's said kind of in a pejorative way, and then sometimes it's just like dude or bro. Another phrase is a huevo. So huevos means eggs, but it has nothing to do with eggs. In slang, it means For sure, like totally, yeah, for sure, or of course. Another one that I remember hearing for the first time when I was an exchange student is bien padre. And they say that really from Mexico down to South America. I lived in Spain for a couple of years and they don't really say that in Spain. But anyway, it means cool, like, oh yeah, cool, bien padre. And bien means well, and padre means father. So again, it has nothing to do with that. And then the last one is fresa, which means strawberry. But in slang, it means kids who come from an upper class family who are educated. And again, it's kind of used in a negative way in this movie. All right, let me give you some tips for parents because it is a family friendly movie. However, there's some heads up on a few things. As I mentioned, there's a lot of Spanish that's spoken, including some profanity. There's some taking of God's name in vain in English and Spanish. There are some images of what it's like to live on the dangerous streets, orphan life, talk of death, and some illustration of drowning. There were some really great themes that were illustrated well in the movie, such as hope, unity, teamwork, family, courage, fierce loyalty, and caring for the innocent and protecting the young. So I always write down funny lines and interesting lines so that I can share them with you so you can kind of get a little flavor of the movie. And I also include them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So you can see them all there. I'll just share a couple of them with you right now. So a big storm is coming to the coast. All of the orphans are huddled into their home, hoping they're not going to get flooded or worse. And one of the orphans, whose nickname is Hollywood, says, maybe God just wanted to get all the unluckiest kids in the building so he can crush us all out, which is terrible. I mean, he kind of said it in a joking way, but also in a way to let them know that these orphans felt like they were discarded. And so the guardian of these orphans is just such a loving, wonderful man. So here's an interesting line spoken by Wade, played by Dennis Quaid. And I always get a kick out of seeing him playing a salty character because he does it so well. So in this line, he says, there's a calling inside every man in his heart, a call to greatness. Now, most men, they don't follow that call. They pretend it isn't there. They drown it out with game shows or quarterly reports or kids' little league baseball games. And then there's a little bit more to that conversation. But I thought that that was a really good foreshadowing of one of the messages of the movie. The movie is really filled with lots of messages. All right, so you want to know what grade I'm giving this movie? Well, it's probably pretty obvious. I'm giving it an A. I really enjoyed it, and I think that you will too. So let me give you a couple of recommendations for other movies that I instantly thought of that are sort of similar, that are also very heartwarming and family friendly. The oldest one is called The Bad News Bears, and I remember seeing that when I was a little girl, and it had a big impact on me. Another one that's similar and more recent is called The Sandlot. So charming. And then an even more recent one is called Holes. And that has to do with not necessarily just orphans, but kids that are feeling discarded, left out, undervalued, that kind of thing. And that's got so many layers to that story in Holes. Anyway, that's it for my movie review. I hope that if you watch this movie, that you gather your family around and talk about lessons learned and that you really enjoy it. Thank you so much for all of your support just by liking this video, giving it the thumbs up, sharing it with your friends, talking about it, inviting people over to subscribe to my channel. Those are all super easy ways that you can support my growing channel. And you can also run over to Patreon and support me there. I really appreciate that. All right, I will catch you in the next movie review or movie trailer reaction. And until then, bye for now.